The deserts of Egypt look dead from a distance. Sand piled on sand, broken only by mountains of rock that haven't moved in thousands of years. But beneath that pale silence sits a civilization that practically refused to die. A culture that kept leaving behind clues like they knew someone would dig them up one day. And somehow, every artifact they left behind still seems to whisper the same message. You don't know us as well as you think. The story usually starts with the pyramids, because they're the loudest introduction anyone could make. But the real secrets of ancient Egypt aren't in the giant monuments. They are in the small things, the objects carved, painted, hidden, or buried so carefully you'd think the gods were supposed to read them. Each artifact is a confession. Each relic is a riddle. And the deeper you go, the stranger the truth becomes. We begin with the Shabtines, small human-shaped figurines carved with unsettling precision. To most people, they look like collectibles you'd find in a museum gift shop. To the ancient Egyptians, they were workers for the afterlife. Imagine believing death gives you a full-time job, and the only way out is leaving behind tiny employees made of stone or wood. Every pharaoh, every noble, every middle-class scribe packed dozens or even hundreds of these figures into their tombs. Some were beautifully decorated, others were so crudely carved you'd swear the sculptor was late for lunch. But they all shared the same purpose: to answer the call of the gods so the owner didn't have to. It's possibly the earliest version of outsourcing labor. Then there are the canopic jars. Smooth, elegant, and disturbingly calm considering they stored human organs. You see, the Egyptians believed the body had to be preserved for the soul to use it again. So they moved the liver, lungs, stomach, and intestines, wrapped them up like fragile jewelry, and placed them inside jars protected by the 4 sons of Horus. Each son had a different head: human, baboon, jackal, and falcon. It may sound theatrical now, but to them, it was a precise spiritual system. They weren't trying to be creepy, they were trying to keep the dead alive. And if you think that's paradoxical, welcome to ancient Egypt. One artifact remains an obsession for anyone with even casual interest in archaeology: the Book of the Dead. The title is dramatic, but it wasn't a spooky manuscript filled with curses. It was more like a cheat code guide for the afterlife, written in papyrus scrolls and placed in tombs to help the dead navigate the recklessly complicated journey awaiting them. You see, the afterlife in the Egyptian belief wasn't a peaceful vibe. It was a series of tests and punishments. You weren't just chilling with the gods. You were basically running a cosmic obstacle course. The Book of the Dead offered spells, instruction, and protective charms. It is the closest thing the ancient world had to a survival manual. But then you reach the artifacts that aren't supposed to raise eyebrows, yet somehow they do. Take the Dundara light. On a wall in the Temple of Hathor, you find what looks suspiciously like a giant light bulb. Archaeologists explain it as a lotus flower with a snake inside, symbolizing rebirth. Fringe theorists swear it's ancient electricity. The truth is probably less sci-fi and more symbolic, but you can't blame people for staring at a carving from 2,000 years ago and thinking, hang on, that looks like something modern. Then there is the Saqqara bird, a small wooden object shaped like a bird but with an oddly aerodynamic form. Some say it's a toy. Others say it's evidence of ancient understanding of flight. Engineers have recreated it, and oddly enough, the little thing glides better than it should for a simple religious trinket. Nobody's claiming Egypt Airlines was operating in 200 BCE, but the craftsmanship hints at experimental thinking we rarely give them credit for. Even more strange is the so-called coin of Cleopatra, a tiny silver coin engraved with a portrait that looks nothing like the Hollywood version of the Queen. No charm, no elegance, no golden glow. Just a sharp-nosed, hard-faced ruler with absolute authority etched in her eyes. It is a reminder that artifacts don't care about modern fantasies. They tell the truth, whether you like it or not. And the mysteries don't stop at objects. Some artifacts show unexpected scientific sophistication. Egyptian surgical tools discovered at Kamambo include forceps, scalpels, and clamps that look uncomfortably similar to today's medical equipment. These people were performing procedures thousands of years before modern medicine became a phrase. Mummified bodies show healed fractures and amputations, meaning doctors back then weren't just guessing, they actually knew what they were doing. And then you have the most iconic artifact in modern memory, the Rosetta Stone. A dark slab of granodiorite carved with 3 scripts: Greek, Demotic, and hieroglyphics. It didn't just unlock a language, it unlocked the entire civilization. Before the Rosetta Stone, we were staring at hieroglyphs like a toddler looking at algebra. And because of it, we could read what the ancient Egyptians wrote about love, food, funerals, lawsuits, daily work, magic spells, and everything else humans obsess over. But for every question answered, 5 more appear. Archaeologists unearthed the so-called Fayum mummy portraits, hauntingly realistic paintings placed over the faces of the dead. They look like photographs, eyes full of life sitting on top of lifeless corpse. These portraits show a blend of Egyptian and Greco-Roman styles, proof that the ancient world wasn't divided into neat boxes like textbooks pretended. Cultures mixed, art blended, and identity wasn't a straight line. Some artifacts seem to carry stories nobody has fully decoded, like the mysterious opening of the mouth, tools used in rituals to symbolically restore senses to the dead, or like the beautifully carved perfume jars containing traces of ancient Egyptian fragrance formulas we still can't replicate. Or maybe the carved ivory wands used to protect newborns from evil forces. The list goes on, each object both obvious and baffling at the same time. And then there is Tutankhamun. The boy king's tomb became the world's most famous archaeological find not because he was important in life, but because his tomb somehow survived every tomb robber for 3,000 years. Inside were artifacts so stunning they made modern jewelry look cheap. The golden mask alone is a masterpiece of mathematical precision. His daggers included one that was made from meteoric iron, literally metal from outer space. You can almost hear ancient people saying, "Yeah, we knew about meteorites. And yes, we made weapons out of them. Try to keep up." But the deeper mystery isn't the artifacts themselves. It's the mindset that created them. Egyptians, like many ancient civilizations, were obsessed with the afterlife, but not in a depressing way. To them, death wasn't the end. It was the beginning of another version of existence, and they wanted to go into it prepared. Their artifacts show fear, faith, artistry, science, superstition, and ambition all tangled together. Then you stumble on the artifacts that feel oddly personal. Letters written on shards of pottery complaining about taxes or gossiping about neighbors. Sketches made by bored artisans. Toy dolls carved for children. Amulets worn by everyday people hoping for protection from scorpions or heartbreak. These small objects punch holes straight through time, proving the ancient Egyptians weren't mystical aliens. They were people, annoying and complicated, exactly like us. And yet, for all our intelligence and technology, there's still a gap we can't cross. We don't fully understand how they built some structures with such precision. We don't know why certain tombs were left unfinished. We can't explain every carving or every ritual. The artifacts we've found are only a fraction of what once existed. Most are still buried under sand that keeps shifting and swallowing. The mystery isn't just what we've discovered, it's what we haven't. Every artifact from ancient Egypt is a thread. Some are clean and clear, others frayed and fading. But when you pull them together, you get a civilization that was fearless about confronting the unknown, obsessed with preserving meaning, and somehow more advanced than anyone expected. The story of ancient Egypt isn't a mystery because it's confusing. It's a mystery because it's complete. A civilization that left behind just enough answers to keep us coming back, but just enough questions to ensure we never stop digging. And maybe that was the intention all along. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.